Hey, hey, don't don't fall asleep. Yeah, you kind of fell asleep, and I feel bad for waking you up, but we have to stay awake just for a little bit longer. I promise you. Do you think you can stay awake? Maybe I can help you. I'll tell you a little story about something. Yeah, I've been thinking about a lot these days, actually. And the strange thing is that it happened so many years ago, and in a way it's a little bit random, but sometimes I think back on how I used to be when I was younger. I was not really, it's really difficult to explain, but I was working in a hostel in Japan when I was 19, and when I think back about that time, I was brave. I must say I was brave. I mean, I went there all by myself right after finishing high school, but I didn't go out and talk to people that much. I didn't approach people. Also, I was always surrounded with so many new people all the time, and I remember sometimes just going out with them because it was expected, and staying quiet for an entire night and feeling super uncomfy and wanting to go home, but not feeling like it was appropriate to go home. I don't know if you ever felt that way. I can imagine you did. I remember I once met this girl from the US. I don't remember her name anymore, but sometimes I still think about her. And she was studying at a Japanese university for exchange, and we went to different places together. She would always invite me, and it was different, and I can't really pinpoint why it was. I remember the day she moved out of the hostel, and I just didn't think about it much. I helped her out, and I wasn't, reflecting too much on how the past few days have been like. And she had like this huge suitcase, and we had to carry it down the stairs. And I remember it visually because I still remember the colors and the angles of this moment. And I was walking behind her holding her suitcase, and she was holding it and walking in front of me down the stairs. And suddenly she stopped, and I wondered if there was something wrong or anything. And she turned and she looked at me, and she told me, you're a really kind person. I really sense that, and thank you so much for these days. And then we carried his suitcase out, and the taxi came, and she went away, and I haven't seen her since. And it's just, since then, it's been so many years, but sometimes I remind myself about this episode, this very short and volatile moment where I felt like someone really understood me, and someone who really saw me, and someone who truly and sincerely appreciated me. And that was the first time someone ever told me something like that in that way. It was not just what she said, but how she said it, and it kind of reminds me of what's important to me, because I guess we all dislike ourselves. Sometimes we hate ourselves. Sometimes we just can't stand the way we are, and I question myself too. But then when I think about this incident, it just really brings me back to the core of how I want to be. And that is just, I just want to be a kind person who can help people when I can. And I don't know why I'm telling you this right now. It's super random. But yeah, for me, it's such a nice memory that really reminds me of the things that are important to me. And another thing is that it also made me want to be, well, like her in a way. Because sometimes I really appreciate what other people do and what people are to me, and I just don't communicate it that well. And I know it's really common to get compliments, especially as a girl, but most of them are super superficial. And honestly, I would trade all the superficial compliments I got just for this one sincere compliment I got from her. I felt like I just wanted to share it with you. And now when we're at it, I just want you to know that just staying next to you makes me feel so happy. I don't feel like we need to be doing anything specific, but just having this time with you, I really appreciate it. And I'm really thankful that we get to experience this together. And now, look, finally. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's so insane. I feel so present. I don't know. There's just something so special about witnessing the beginning of a new day.